This is China vlog 4. So I will begin by kind of resuming where I left off last night. Um, I had just met with Peter and headed back up to the room to make my vlog. And Henry and I, and then Cooper and Henry Mitchell, went out to go get some dinner. Nothing was open because it was like 11, so we went to McDonald's. And I'm just starting off from last night because something really cool happened. So after we got dinner, we were coming up, and I was kind of informing the guys about how I had seen that one of my more recent favorite artists. Well, not recent. I've actually known this artist for quite a while, but one of my artists that I really like, had just happened to be performing in our hotel at the club at the hotel, and I was letting them know that guys, there's this show happening tonight. I'd like to go. It sounds really cool, but we just got in Hong Kong, and I'd rather see the city because realistically, I could probably see this artist back home at some point at any time that I like. So I'm telling them oh, it'd be cool, but let's not do it. Let's go and see the city, and they're all like, yeah, that makes sense. And I'm like, but it would be so cool if I could meet this guy. And so after dinner, we were walking back into the hotel, literally up the elevator. I'm like, man, I would love to meet this artist. And we want to just get one beer after the night, just to kind of calm down or cool down and chit chat, and then we're gonna go to bed. And we walk into the hotel bar to get a beer, and we sat down and people were drinking, and then all of a sudden, I think maybe it was Henry Hayes, but someone was like, yo, bro, there's a dude over there with headphones in his hand. And I was like, oh shit, this might be him. So I looked over and I'm like, that's totally him. But I wasn't quite positive because I don't know if you've ever seen a famous person in real life, but there's always this double take kind of situation going on. Is that really him? Is it not? Because you don't want to approach a stranger and then ask if they're some famous person, because it's just kind of an awkward situation to begin with. But after multiple double takes, I was like, that is him. I have to go say something. So I approached him, and it was him. And so I ended up just kind of, fanboying to him for a little bit about, I thought it was cool that I was able to see him, that I'd been listening to his music for probably almost 4 years now, ever since he released his first single. I was right on the front lines of when that release came out. And so it was really cool just to see this artist that I'd been following for so long. And he was like, thank you so much for enjoying my music, and I wished him well on his tour. And so my dream or wish came true, which was really cool. And then so went to bed, woke up this morning, bright and early, got some breakfast, and then immediately headed out to the tour of Hong Kong, which was really fun. We explored a lot of markets, went to some temples, learned a little bit about the history of Hong Kong, and I'd already learned about the Opium Wars and all that, but kind of got reminded of that, and which I'm glad, because I kind of totally spaced it out. And now I can even more appreciate the history and some of the architecture and what was going on. And I think his name was Steven, our tour guide. He was really cool. It was either Steve or Steven, or started with an S, definitely. But yeah, so we toured some markets, some temples, just explored the city, saw some street art, and then went to dim sum. And dim sum was really fun. I had a really good time. It was really good food. Everyone there was kind of interesting because I had already literally eaten every single thing on that menu back in the United States. I have some really like Asian friends from a bunch of different Asian cultures whose parents either own restaurants or I'm also just an adventurous eater, so people were kind of like gooking and gawking at some of the menu items, and I was just like, yeah, this all stuff is really good that I've eaten before, so I enjoyed everything, and then went immediately from dim sum to my meeting, and I thought I would get lost, and at first I kind of did, but actually the subway is crazy here. It's not, I'd say it's probably faster than the one in Shanghai, but I'd say that Shanghai is honestly a better subway in terms of technology and efficiency, and it's a little bit more clear how to get around in Shanghai, and here is like there's different like exits and stuff, and I just felt like it was a slightly harder and slightly less modern, but subway system was really easy. Went right to my meeting, and there I met with Vivian Mack, who owned Ming Chai Tea, really premium, high class, I mean very expensive tea store. And so ended up throwing down a lot of money on a tea set and some of her like more favorite touted, teas that she liked. Our meeting went really well. I don't want to go too into it because this vlog is already at 6 minutes, but she taught me about her experience with wellness, with Henry. She, I told her about my issues with anxiety and how I wanted to learn about teas that were calming, and she helped me learn about kind of her path towards creating this business and how her experience, she was actually went to school for design and art, and she said she'd always wanted to be an artist and a designer, but she saw this niche for like premium tea in China because she felt like the teas that she was having weren't that high quality, and she actually preferred, interestingly enough, celestial seasonings to a lot of the teas that she was having. And so she was like, but she knows there's quality tea in China. So she was like, I want to make a tea brand and really make it about the experience and about the ritual of tea. And so we talked a lot about how there's a holistic element to tea and how the ritual is very relaxing. The traditional Chinese ritual of serving tea is very calming. And watching the tea leaves expand, and it kind of made me consider like maybe trying to make something in my product more of an experience than just simply pouring something in a glass of water. I don't know what that could look like, but she said, like, for instance, part of the tea is there's like 5 or 6 aspects that really make the experience of enjoying tea very relaxing, and that includes things like smell, sight, taste, feeling, socializing, and things of that nature. And so we just talked a lot, went on and on and on about various types of teas and her experience with wellness and her perception on things like anxiety and depression, and she was very like blunt with a lot of her opinions, and but also just a super nice lady. And so anyway, I went straight from that tea meeting to the hotel, and that kind of brings me to where I am right now. I just got changed into some more comfy clothes, which is literally the same thing I wore yesterday. And I think we're gonna go get some dinner and maybe get a couple beers and maybe go to like the walkway or something to see like some city lights. But yeah, all in all, good day. I think I'll leave it at that. It's already 9 minutes and 44 seconds. So we will see you tomorrow for what's gonna be the next chapter of this adventure. Peace.